Hey guys, my name is Judson Germinal, and today I'm gonna do what I should have done a long time ago. I'm gonna share with you guys some of the visions that I've had. If I have time, I'll share all five with you, but let's see how that goes. I mean, I thought I was the only one having those visions, but apparently, a lot of other people have had them. Mine started in 2012 when I was going to school, and I was not really, following God, and I was not really doing the things of God, the things that I should have been doing. So I was not living a godly life, pretty much. And and one night, one of my first visions, and it came about like this. It was a normal night, and everybody, were doing typical activities what they do on a day-to-day basis, and all of a sudden it was like, and somebody just screamed, "Nah, fire's coming down from heaven!" And we looked up, and it was just fires falling down, and then after like I'd probably say like 15 minutes of that, and someone says, look up in the sky, and there are angels up there, and there were angels coming down, and then so everybody started to freak out, and everybody started running, and some people running towards them, and away from them, and it's like, and then but in there, I could see like in the midst of them, because like the whole sky was just crowded with angels, but in the middle, like between them, there was a man that everybody could just like look at him and be like, okay, this is Jesus. Like there's no doubt that this is Jesus. So he was coming down, and then I saw his face clearly, and he was crying like the whole way down. I saw tears coming down, and I mean, it's like, I mean, we didn't know what to do. No one knew what to do. Like no one knew what to expect. It was just all of a sudden, just like Jesus said. It was like when you least expected, and he was just like he came, and like if you yeah, it was just one of those cases, like if you knew Jesus, then you knew Jesus, and if you didn't, there was no time for you to like trying to go get your Bible, and or to even ask for forgiveness. I mean, it was the time. The time was already there. So the way I saw it, we were all gathered like in a room, in a big room, like pretty much like all the people that were that were not going to heaven. That we were put in a room, and then everybody was crying. Everybody was asking for forgiveness, and Jesus was out there crying, and he was like, every time someone would go to him, like, yeah, I repent, and I begging for forgiveness, begging for Jesus to give him a second chance, pretty much, and he'll cry, and he'll say that I've given you time. I mean, you've had time, but you never repented. You never really took me serious, or you were more interested in the things of this world. So like every time someone would like go to him, this that's what he would say. But he was sad, crying, and but the room. This is how the room was. I mean, it was not. I didn't really see a big room, but it was like I could tell there was a lot of people there. But that's how the room was. Like every time you open the door trying to get out, you end up back in the same room. It's almost like it was glass. You could see everybody outside. You could see the angels. You could see the people that was going up to heaven. You could see Jesus out. But every time you open the door to go out, you ended up in the same room. So it's like there was no escaping. There was no way out. And so it was, yeah, it was sad. I mean, when first vision, I was in there. I was in that room, and everybody was crying. But at the end, I remember it was like the whole room was like, it's like somebody just spilled gasoline over the whole room, and then after a while, Jesus was crying after a while, and it was like he looked at his people, and he looked at his angels. He was like, well, okay, it's time to go. And then like, and then it looks as if someone lit up a match and threw it over the room, and it just exploded. And yeah, that's pretty much all I remember. Then I woke up crying. And then, I mean, it felt so real. I mean, as soon as I woke up, I knew that, I had to make some changes. And I knew that I had work to do, because it felt so real. I can't really, explain it in a way that you would feel, how I felt. But it didn't feel like a dream at all. Because, I mean, this happens in 2012, and this is 2014 now. And I could clearly see everything, how it happened. And then it's up there. I can see clearly every single vision. I can see all five of them, and I remember how they happened, and in the order that they happened. So it's like, to me, those were not dreams. They were like, warnings. It was just Jesus telling me that, get yourself ready. I'm coming back, and He's almost here. I mean, I watched a few videos on YouTube of people sharing their dreams, so I just felt like I had to share mine. It may not help everybody, but it might help someone. So maybe you've had the same visions I've had, and you didn't know what it means. I mean, it pretty much means that get yourself ready. Jesus is coming back. I mean, we could see the signs, we could see what's going on around us, and we know that we don't have much time left. I mean, yeah. The second vision. Yeah, the second vision came a little shortly after the first one. I'd probably say maybe like a month and a half after. It was still the same scenarios. Like, Jesus came back, suddenly, when no one expected Him to come in. And then the second one, I was also left behind. I saw myself in an empty field and there was no one around but me and the devil. And every time I would try to escape, it was barricaded, and every time I would try to escape, and he would grab me and pull me back in. So, yeah, but from where I was, yeah, when I looked out, I could see other people walking around, happy. I could even see people just taking a walk, just walking with Jesus, having a conversation. But I was in that place where it was dried. There was no water, no food. I was in agony pretty much, and so every time I would try to escape, and the devil would grab me and pull me back in. But I could see my younger brother from afar, and he was in a room he was just sitting on the computer, just happy. Everybody just looked happy, and so I tried to escape a few times, and somehow the devil turned away, and I escaped, and I ran into the room, and I was trying to tell my brother, just could you please tell Jesus that give me a second chance. If he gives me a second chance, I'll go back, and then I'll do everything right, and I'll follow him, I'll serve him, and then so that won't have to happen. And he was like, well, I can't guarantee that he's gonna do anything. I mean, it's too late pretty much, but I asked him anyway. So I'm like, Ben, by the time this conversation was over, and then the devil was already, there at the door coming to grab me. But then when he saw my brother, he reached out, he made an attempt trying to grab them. And my brother just looked at him, he looked at him, and he called Jesus. But in my sleep, I heard a voice says, I'm already there. And I looked back, and it was Jesus just standing at the door. And then, so, when the devil sees Jesus, what does he do? He runs. So, but he backed up, and my brother was telling Jesus how I wanted him to ask him if he could give me a second chance where I could go back and do things differently. And Jesus was like, tell your brother. And I've told him, it's already too late. There's nothing I can do. I mean, I've given you time. You had your time, and you just, you didn't serve me when you had your time. There's nothing I can do. Everything's already been done. I mean, so then I guess I cried, and then I let the devil grab me, brought me back to that empty field, and I pretty much woke up after that, and it was just bad. I didn't even want to go back to sleep. But yeah, that was pretty much the second vision. I mean, that is back to back. But then when I woke up, I was like, you know what? This is it. I really have to change that. I have to do something. So one of my friends invited me to go to J110, which is like a young adult ministry at Christ Fellowship. He brought me there on a Tuesday. We went to play basketball, and then we went to J110, and I really enjoyed the time. So, but at the time, I was looking for a church to go to anyway. I was looking for like a church home. So I went there. I liked it, and then so we made it like an every Tuesday thing. Every Tuesday we'll go play basketball, and then we'll take a shower, change, and then we'll go to J110. I mean, it was I had a great time there, and so I told him that, well, next Sunday I'm going to church there and see what it's like on Sunday. And I went there. I fell in love with it. The people there are so nice, and it was like everybody was just friendly. When you go there, all you see is smiles, and the people are smiling, and everybody are happy. I feel like, hey, that's the place for me. So I went there, filled out the paper. That was around the time when they were about to have beach baptism. So I signed up for that. They called me on Monday, or the next day, to follow up with me and make sure that I understood what baptism was, and then. So I, follow up with the process, and then I went on and got baptized, and then I started going to church, and I started serving. But the visions didn't stop there. I mean, I was not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm still, trying. So I still had a few things in my life that I had to like get rid of, and I had to, walk away from. So it was like, my third vision, I think, came. Probably say maybe 4 to 5 months after. Yeah, I mean, after a while, I was just going to church, and it was all good, and then all of a sudden, bam, another one of those visions. Excuse me. The third vision I had was, in that one, I was being pretty much. I didn't see Jesus coming back, but in a way, he came back because everybody was being persecuted. It was time for the mark of the beast, and they were just grabbing people. They were forcing people to get the mark of the beast on them, and I was pretty much being chased like from the start to like I got to the gate of heaven. Pretty much, I was being chased everywhere. I saw people that I was being chased like. I saw myself in like airports. I saw myself in like school halls. I saw myself in like hospitals. Because I was just running, like like one of those movies that where you never stop running. You're always